8,
9.
10.
Yizzo!
Peace, Queen. How are you?
How are you? If anybody's on Patreon.
My nose all red under there. Just cliche. Just cliche with a cold. Shout out to having kids that get you sick. Cause
JoJo then went to school and brought you back shenanigans. She said, here you go, take that. Take
and
that, Mom.
And they get over it in a day. JoJo, it takes her exactly 7 hours to get over whatever it is.
It knocked you down?
It didn't knock me down, but I don't feel...
I feel like you're blaming JoJo, but you were up here shaking a tail feather with me, so maybe it wasn't her. Maybe it was...
Well, she gave me the illness, and then I didn't care for my body. I was up here drinking and carrying on till 3 a.m.
So sorry.
Happy belated birthday, Antoinette!
Girl, that birthday, thank you, was beautiful, but I don't know how much longer I could celebrate it.
What?
I looked up today, it was like, how many times am I going to be like, thank you? It's over.
Is everyone wishing you a happy birthday?
It's so nice.
Beyonce.
Stop. It's so nice. I can't even lie. Such beautiful humans.
Let's just go to you. What did you do for your birthday?
No.
I really have nothing to offer the people
You have
aside from
stuff on
I
here.
am your support system. I am your pillar in this moment. I really don't.
Come on, you said that you were proud of Jolie, and I'm proud of her too, and I want you to talk about that because you told me already about her in school.
No, I'm proud of Jolie because she's discovered reggae dancehall, not because of any school. JoJo told me in passing, she was like, yeah, I got a song that I really like. She takes a school bus home, and I was like, yeah, whatever, go do your work. And but it went in one ear and out the other that it was like, she was like, yeah, it was like a Jamaican song. And I was like, all right, okay. And I was on the phone with you, actually. Yeah. And I walked past her room, and all I hear is, murder, she wrote, murder. And JoJo was in her room doing arts and crafts to Murder, She Wrote on medium volume. Like, it was, I said, wow, this kid is really something to be proud of. She's a winner.
Why did I think that you were talking about her being like, Mom, I have to study. I can't eat. There's no time for eating.
She actually is growing to be an anxious student as well, overachiever. And I'm like, girl, fuck that Spanish.
Getting her ready for that 9-to-5 life, baby. And conditioning her now like, no, self-care is not a part of my regimen. No, I don't deserve it.
She comes in late. It is a thing because she gets off the bus late. She gets home at like 5 o'clock. So it's like she has 3 hours to really get the shit done before she has to get ready for bed and, you know, have a moment to herself. So
what time is her bedtime?
Like 8:45. She should be like in the bed. 9 o'clock.
Can I tell you something? I had to have a conversation with my dad in 11th grade because my bedtime, I don't know if I even want to say this, was still 9:30. Wow. And I was like, can I talk to you? And it was a big deal because by that time my sister was in college. It was just he and I was like, Dad, I had my thesis together. I was explaining to him why I felt as though I deserved to stay up a little later, how I was going to be responsible and make sure I got to school. He understood that your
kids need long, especially teenagers, they need that sleep.
He just never checked in again after I turned 12. He was like, go to bed. And didn't realize that I was damn near about to be out the house.
Right to bed at 9:30. Girl.
But I'll never forget having that conversation. And he was like, what time do you... And it took me like 15 minutes to like finish my argument. He was like, what time do you think your bedtime should be? And I was like, and I remember being all scared. And I remember I was about to say 10 o'clock. And then I said, no, you got to ask for more. And then, you know, he'll give you, if you say 10 o'clock, he's going to say 9:45. And I was like, I think 11. And he was like, fine. And I was so shocked. It was 11. But I used to go upstairs early anyway. Shout out to my dad.
What time did we wake up?
Too early. I was on the bus at like 6:45, so 11 was way too late. Actually, he was not a good parent. It's like, I'm like,
You kept your bed 9:30.
Ah, yeah. My
Anyway, so
birthday.
she's
Oh, sorry.
amazing.
Sorry.
Yes,
My
I'm proud of
birthday,
her.
I need to turn you up in my headphones because I can't hardly hear you. My birthday was beautiful. I took the day off, the actual birthday. I had a quiet day, and I was nervous about that because there were some friends who wanted me to get together with them. And I didn't want to disappoint, but I started celebrating my birthday on Wednesday. A friend of mine and I went to the Blue Note. Shout out to You Know Who You Are, and that was super cool and nice. And we saw an artist, and they were actually encouraging me to be honest about what I wanted to do on my birthday and to say no and to make it about me. And so I did that, and I got acupuncture, which hurts. And I, you know what? Everybody says that doesn't hurt. And I said, it does.
Ouch.
Ouch. Free needle. I was like, oh, girl. And then she was
Where'd
talking.
you get it?
I got at a black owned spot in Bed-Stuy. Well, no, well, really it's like Clinton Hill. Om Mango Wellness. It's 3 M's in there, so that's why it's throwing me off. OMMM Mango Wellness. Get it? So OMM and then Mango Wellness. Black owned, very, very nice spot. It was very calming. The woman was very kind and very helpful. And she, you had to girl, I thought it was a doctor's office. I had to fill out all this information about my many ailments or not so many ailments, whatever it was. And so she put the needles in me she really wanted to focus on my stomach area. She wanted to focus on, she even asked, like, did you have any trauma growing up? And I was like, oh, okay. And I told her, my stuff. And so she put a bunch of needles around my, like, pelvis, in my lower chakra, which that hurt. And then a whole bunch in my forehead, girl, like mad needles in my forehead, a couple on the top of my head. She wanted to open my third eye, and then a bunch in the back of my neck and all over like my heart. Really, they were all over the goddamn place. But they did, I realized, and this was another lesson, I wasn't super comfortable when I first laid down. I was fine, but I wasn't like, I wanted another pillow underneath my knees because the curve in my back, it hurts to like lay flat because of the way my spine is. Like I need my legs propped up, and I didn't ask for it. And damn it, if that Reiki wasn't an hour and a half of me laying in a position that hurt, and then you can't move because you got these needles in you.
So she did Reiki and acupuncture.
Oh yes,
it
was Reiki
and then did
apologies.
Reiki?
Yes, so you put the needles in, and it does subside. Like the pain is like initial. And I guess I'm a little bit of a baby, but there were certain areas that hurt more than others. And she said, she adjusted some things, but she said, if it hurts, then that's a problem. If you feel a buzzing or a little bit of discomfort, and she sounded like you, she was like, breathe into that. That's for a reason. And I was like, I hate you. And so when she came back in, it was probably about an hour later. And then it was like 30 minutes of Reiki. And my back was screaming. But as soon as she started the Reiki, I was cheating a little bit. My eyes were open. I was peeking at her to see like where she was at. But then I closed my eyes and I could really feel like her vibrational energy, her sharing it. And I knew where she was on my body. There were some moments where like her Reiki, she did touch me sometimes, but sometimes she wasn't. She would tap certain needles. And it was just, I really enjoyed that aspect, but I messed it up myself by not speaking up. So there was a lesson there, and my back still hurts, but it was a beautiful day. I did that. Then I had some food. I had kashkaval, which if you're in New York, you need to go to Manhattan. You should go to Kashkaval Garden and get some of the best Mediterranean food you will ever have in your life. Make sure you get that beet spread. It doesn't sound delicious, but it is. And then I went to my boyfriend, Michael, and got a massage. Michael is my man. He had me humming. I love him. He gave me a facial massage.
A facial massage?
Yes, girl. He flipped me over and said, you have stress, and was rubbing my face in ways that, girl. I said, Michael, are you trying to get me? No, Michael. Well, let me not say that man's not cute. He's not for me. Michael is about 65 years old, Chinese man, little short, sweet Chinese man that I love.
His name ain't Michael either.
I know. But Mike, he doesn't understand me when I'm asking him what his real name is. He just like smiles and nods, or he doesn't want to tell me. So there's a little bit of a language barrier there, but I fuck with him heavy. Yeah, and then I came home and got ready to link up with you kids. And I mentioned the Blue Note, and I want to say that I want to shout out Paris, Alexandria. She actually worked at the Blue Note. She's a Around the Way Curls listener. As soon as I walked in, she was like, I love your work. Super cool girl. And I could tell that she was doing, like, that she was just a dynamic person. You know how you could just see it, like, she's somebody now. And she connected with me online. I go to her page, and she's a creative wellness entrepreneur, poet, writer, model. She does like Nike ads and events and Self magazine. Like, she's doing her thing. And so it affirms so much in me, because, you know, I have this thing where, like, whenever I sing with different people that I used to maybe serve at the jazz club that I worked at, you know, I have this imposter syndrome. And I was like, what? So many of the servers, so many of the wait staff, front of the house, back of the house rather, are so dynamic and like truly creatives and like just buzzing with talent and energy and offerings for everyone. So shout out to her. She really inspired me. I want her to come on here. I need to connect with her because she's in Brooklyn and she's dope. And I'm not going to talk about what we did because I feel like that's coming on Thursday's episode. So I'll wait if that's cool. But I do want to take some time. This time last year, damn, I wish I had this pulled up. We had a guest. Not the podcast. Excuse me. I was scrolling to try to find which podcast it was. Apologies. We had a guest on, Katina Mackey. And she was on talking about her experience battling breast cancer. And she was a beautiful guest. She's a beautiful woman, quite an inspiration to me and many others. And I just really believe in this Around the Way Curl community. I really believe in the power of collective prayer and energy and healing. And so I just want to hold her up because she is, the breast cancer unfortunately returned, and she is about to start radiation treatment. And I want, if everybody can just take a moment on this episode. She is a part of our community. She is a beautiful beacon of light.
Yeah, the way that she is even speaking about managing, confronting, the language she uses around the energy she exudes around this cancer even coming back is just like a lesson in itself for so many folks. Yeah. Katina is
everything.
Strong spirited.
More than strong.
But like her energy is strong. Not in this like I'm a burden strong, but like no, I'm showing up. I'm taking up space. Like regardless.
So let's just take all while mothering as well,
and working child.
So let's just take a moment to just lift her up really quickly and send her light and love. Ashe.
Okay.
And also, if you want to send her a nice note, her handle, or if you need to be inspired to live urgently, this is where you go. Her handle is Umi, UMI _K Marie. That's Umi, UMI _K Marie. Send her some light and love. Love up on our sis. That's all for me. I think I want to encourage. I see folks sharing. I see folks rating. I see the reviews coming in. I thank you. We thank you. We do have new patrons. Unfortunately, I don't have that list, but shout out to you. If you want to see our beautiful faces on Patreon, please come through with the come through and subscribe to us on www.patreon.com/around the way curls. All right. Shanti?
Dopeness. I want to just shout out Philly as well. This weekend I had the chance to stumble upon the soft opening of a Philly. It's going to be a Philly staple, Honeysuckle Provisions. This is a dynamic duo, husband and wife. They are creating a food space where they are focusing on art and food and education. They are offering food all sourced or majority sourced from Black local farmers. They are lighting up West Philly in a way that feels really, really revolutionary in a lot of ways, really inspiring. Shout out to Omar and his wife Sybil. If you are in Philadelphia, they officially open on October 29th, where you could actually purchase their food offerings. But I just popped in and they were just giving out samples of the food, of what we can expect, and just inviting people into the space. And I got this banging ass barbecue sauce that I just put on my chicken wings this evening. I got fresh eggs from a Black farmer. I got bread, this delicious, it's called yam bread, but it's made with sweet potato and real honey. It had like the sour quality to it, but the sweet quality to it. It was soft and delicious. They're doing amazing things, and I'm really proud of them. And they have been crowdfunding for a minute and gaining a lot of attention, and now they're ready to open. So please do check out Honeysuckle Provisions. Their exact address is, hold on, I will find it. Maybe I won't. It's on, I'll get back to you on that. I don't have it, but it's off of Pine Street in West Philly. So I'm going to come back.
It'll be in the description. Send me that for the description.
I also want to shout out Black fathers. Contrary to popular discourse, the CDC reports that fathers' involvement in their children's lives exceeds that of their white and Hispanic counterparts. Black fathers are 70% more likely to have bathed, dressed, diapered, or helped their child use the bathroom more than these white and Hispanic men. So to everybody disparaging and stereotyping our Black fathers, you better recognize, because the CDC says otherwise. Okay?
I don't understand how they get that. How are they finding that out, though? Like,
I don't know. They're asking questions, and white guys were like, absolutely not. I'd never.
I'm like, all these polls, I've never been polled. Where are these polls? Where are these studies? I've never been studied. Have you been studied?
Scam likely calls on your phone.
Is that what it is?
Pick up the fucking phone.
Ciao. In other news, Sade is back in the studio. That's all I got. We don't know what the fuck is going on, but she back in there. Whose studio was it? Brad Pitt? It's so random.
What?
Yes, Brad Pitt opened apparently a recording studio, and I don't know what's going on with Brad. You know, it's not funny. I'm worried about him. I'm saddened because I think him and Angelina Jolie are still going through that little. It's not little, but I really wanted to see them work this out. They have a beautiful family. I was invested.
They're still beefing about them kids growing on their own.
No, so much has come out where she's accused him of hitting the children. Apparently, he was struggling with alcoholism for a little while, and now she's selling the winery to spite him. I don't know. It's all drama that I don't really want to get involved in. It's none of our business, but I just worry, and I'm happy that he is, having some sort of creative outlet. And then Sade was like, cool, let me get behind the mic. And then I thought it was interesting that, I guess it's true, her name is Sade, but they kept saying the band Sade, the band. I was like, is the band Sade too? Because she doesn't have, those musicians are the musicians for every live show, every album, like, So it's the
The
band?
band, yeah. The band Sade.
I'd be mad as shit if I was in a band and her name was the only name.
They better put some fucking respect on her name. Ain't nobody going to go see them twang on a guitar if she ain't in front
First
of
of
the
all,
mic.
let me tell you what, her band is incredible. And we
I'm
saw
just saying.
Sade live. Sade
I'm
live is
just
a
saying.
force, but she ain't the vocalist of all the vocalists now.
But she don't
And
need
even
to
you
be.
said it.
She don't need to be.
You
You
right,
see
she
now,
don't.
Kelly, what's that woman name that was what's her name? Beyonce, she was in the Dreamgirls.
Jennifer Hudson?
I don't care for Jennifer Hudson's voice. I would like to see Rihanna over Jennifer Hudson any day. It's not all about the voice.
Wow.
I don't care for her voice.
Hot take. Y'all get her. Shanti, nobody is going to get you. They going to get me. That's a hot take. And the reason why I'm not that shocked is because I don't feel like hearing her yell anymore either. I love when I hear her.
Say it how you said it.
I don't. But I love when she does her thing, and she's controlling her voice and she's not doing what I think she thinks everybody wants her to do. She did that Whitney Houston tribute after Whitney died. And I was very concerned. I said, I don't want to hear you sing I Will Always Love You yelling. And she didn't. What she did do, she went out there and she was so nervous. I think she stopped and she started again. And she sang it beautifully with all the control and tact in the world. It was like, I think sometimes I like to call it, Black actually, my friend Black actually said this to me, that sometimes it's like mental masturbation for some of these artists. It's like they're just showing you all of the things they can do with their voice instead of like lending it to the actual art and the song. And I feel like a lot of people agree with that. But shout out to her. Sade could never either. That's the difference. So we gonna respect Sade. We going
to beat out Jezebel. I said, like, girl, is that the song where she would be singing?
No.
Sade.
It was, what song was it that we heard? I think it was Is It a Crime? That we were like, wait a minute. It
is. That's what she was called. I said, Sade, girl.
Whatever. Them grown men was in there screaming and crying, crying. Child, you got something else on here. You want to talk about House of Dragons, but I'm not caught up.
I haven't seen the most recent one. I just.
All right, then we're at the same.
The last
place.
one I saw was when that black man called Rhaenyra out her name, like as he should have, and I said,
"You're a spoiler alert."
I don't like the way they gaslit that man. And I don't appreciate it. And I when he said that, I fell out of the bed and cracked. I couldn't take the rest of the episode seriously.
Let me tell you.
This is fantastic. I said, whoa.
But when you texted me and you were like, Antoinette, did you see the new episode? You are going to crack up. And I was like, I saw it already and nothing was fun. Like, what were you laughing at? You're crazy. It was such an awful scene and you're in the bed laughing.
I think because Rashid in Baltimore, they call everybody a whore. And so he says that all night. He was like, you a whore, yo. And so he was like, she's a whore, yo. I was like, oh my God. That took me to the, I said, he better. He ain't pausing nothing.
Wait, but did you watch the end though? Where they have the actor talking about it?
No. What did
you got to hear him talk about it because he's super black. And he was like, I'm the only one that's going to tell the truth in there.
That's what it is.
And he was like, and I knew I was going to go out, but I was not going to go out a liar.
I know.
Like,
listen, that's what I said. He said, speak truth to power. He said, she's a whore, yo.
Yo. Anyway, shout out to House of Dragons. Apparently, this next episode is supposed to be good. We'll see.
I'm hoping. God, please.
I'm going to stick with it, child. I'm going to stand beside him. All right. Politics as usual. I'm going to do my best because I'm still not that caught up as I should be. But I want to highlight that the student loan forgiveness website is live. And according to some friends, I have not been on there, they are saying that it's hella easy to navigate. Joseph Robinette Biden went on the interwebs today, went on all these, platforms saying that the website was live. So if you are someone with student loans and you qualify for some student loan forgiveness, carry your ass up onto that site
It's
and
very
get your
easy.
coins. That's what people are saying. You went on there? No.
But I've been hearing it.
Okay. All right. I am not going to shut up about this because I feel like this is losing a little bit of steam and it should not. Iran. Because I keep saying Iran like the people on CNN, and it's Iran, apparently. Protests are still happening and ramping up in Iran. That is because we talked about this young woman, Masha Amini, and that's not even her name, come to find out. While Masha is her legal name, only Persian names are allowed to be registered in Iran. So her Kurdish name is actually, I want to say this right, Gina. It's spelled Zhina, but pronounced Gina. And so that's actually her name, which was just wild to me that there's all these chants and things, and that's not even her given name. Iran is really ramping up their attack on the Kurdish. So I am not going to pretend to understand all of the international politics surrounding this. I have so much more research to do. And if anyone out there is hip and in the know when it comes to these kinds of politics, please let me know, especially within this region, because it's super complicated. Kurdistan, I think that's how you say it. Kurdistan is not even like a place. Like the Kurdish are a group of people. Many of them are in Turkey. They're all over the Middle Eastern region. And long story short, they've always been they've had opposition to the Iranian government. And now, and basically they've been on the outskirts. They are the black sheep. They are treated unjustly for whatever reason. I'm again not clear on that. But now that they have this woman, they feel like she was targeted, not just because she was a woman, but because she was also Kurdish. And so there's outcry within the Kurdish community, and the community, they have a ton of support. You know, women, men, and children are still in the streets protesting. The current Ayatollah is not backing down. So they're going out into the street, and there was this awful video that I watched that I'm not going to share, but they're just walking in the street and shooting people with ease, great ease, nonchalantly.
I think they set a prison on fire as well with a bunch of political prisoners in it.
They have not uncovered what the cause of that was, or it hasn't been the cause, like, how do I say this? That's all what people are thinking. That they're either thinking that there was an uprising in the prison and that was what happened, or something else occurred within the prison that has nothing to do with this. Obviously, you know, it looks like they're related, but they have not verified that yet. And it's going to be hard to verify it because, you know, you either get your news from the United States where that's tricky because they're packaging it a certain way. And then also, you know, Iran is packaging it a certain way. But this video showed this man in his car, and he honked in support of protesters, and they shot him in the head. He was 29 years old, completely dead, bled out. He was just married 2 weeks ago. They have a current interview with an unnamed woman on CNN right now, and I just read it. And again, it's hard to place everything because I don't understand all of the politics. But she fled the region. She is taking up arms with the Kurdish military, who apparently is very organized, and that is why. And it's not like a governing military because it's not. It's Kurdish. How do you say it? Kurdistan is not recognized by like legal borders or anything like that. Like that's not a thing, but they're very organized. And so they have this militia. She's taking up arms and she's just like, I'm ready to die. And reading this interview, I was thinking about, the protests that I've been to. I was thinking about the protests that happen here, and I was thinking about if I knew people were in the street. I mean, Shanti, it's horrifying with ease. There was a Iranian saying that they said as if it was water, and a gentleman on this program that I was watching was explaining that the meaning of that is that it is with ease. Water flows. So they're killing people as if it was just water running down a stream. And I just thought to myself, like, would I still go? Would I be brave enough, courageous enough? Would I be courageous enough to flee where she could have been killed? She's navigating mines, even to try to get to this this outlying group of women who are taking up arms to train. She's 22 years old. I don't even understand how she got there. She was smuggled there. And now she's saying she's ready to die for this cause. She has friends that were gunned down. She said that the reason why she left was because she watched children be killed at these protests. That's not making the news. And she's like, what life do I have to live other than this? And it's just something to consider, or to just think about and help ground you in like what your reality is versus what other people's reality are. And I can't wrap my head around that. I can't wrap my head around picking up this gun at 22 and feeling like I had to be ready to sacrifice my life for a cause. And I realized like nothing in my life has ever been that urgent. I've been so privileged that I've had to even consider that. It's like, oh yeah, go to a rally. Maybe the police will beat me up. Maybe I'll get arrested, but I'll be fine. So I just want to I want to send a lot of love and light to Iran. And I'm going to continue to do my research. I'm very ignorant when it comes to what's going, like all of the it's very complicated. I think, and if people are going to do their own research, understand the region is very complicated. The way that the region is reported on is very complicated. And then how they, put Islam, and there's all this Islamophobia within the writing. So you have to critically think and take what you can from what you read, and what you listen to. But sending light and love over there.
If anybody has any sources that are credible and like from the people, in terms of historical, writings or papers or some context as to how the politics got that way. I know the Kurds have had experienced genocide before, like they have been an oppressed people for a minute now. So, and I know somehow or other imperialism and the United States is involved. Somebody's proved to me how, but yeah.
Yeah. So in other news, Shanti, you have on here, Krabs is missing. I can't stand you.
Did I read that?
It literally says Krabs is missing.
Listen, I was just scrolling and I saw it on like the Shade Room and I was like, whatever, they just making jokes. Then I saw it on NPR and CNN. 1 billion crabs have gone missing within 2 years. And it's such a catastrophic event that they have canceled fishing season around these crabs, and it has
Crab
completely
Fest?
Crab Fest.
Is
Is
that
that
what it is? Isn't
is
that what
that
it's
what?
called?
I don't think that's a scientific or
Never
like the
mind. Go ahead. Go
shipping
ahead.
season's name. I
Isn't
think
like a snow, like a season? It's like
it's like a
crab.
snow crab, like harvesting. It's like when it's time to
Oh,
harvest. Like the crabs have grown, they've hatched their
okay.
eggs, they're of mature size to eat, and they go and skim in the bottom of the sea. And ain't a got a bit. First of all,
How the
how
fuck
did
do
they
they know
count
a
that?
billion? Yeah, see.
I think it has to do with sales. So it probably has to do with how many, the amounts that they had prior years. They probably have mad data of how many crabs they had, they have
Hmm.
harvested over a 2-year time. And then they're like, we had 2 billion, we had sold 2 billion crabs and now we have 20,000. What's
Shanti the
happening?
scientist. The girl, I don't know. I need more information on that.
No, it's definitely data driven. Like they have a way of knowing that, but it's just crazy. And that's just
How? We don't know
we're
anything about the ocean. Really. We only know
because
about
they
like
know how
10%
many.
of it.
It's a business, so you know how many sold the year before and the year before that. It's like
So why wouldn't
units.
it just mean that like people aren't buying crabs as much?
No, they can't. They don't have the actual material to sell. They're like,
Oh,
oh, we had 20 billion crabs to sell, and we only have 2. Where are they? We done hatched the eggs. We did everything we're supposed to do. But the ocean, what is this? But I think it's really scary because crabs are a part of a food chain.
of
Like
course,
all of
the
it's connected.
ecosystem.
So if a billion crabs are gone, then that means some little critters are gonna have an overabundance. That means some predator is just like eating a bunch of fucking crabs, and then that's all out. We're in trouble. That's all I got to say.
Yeah,
We're in trouble.
crabs feast on like crabs and shrimp, right? They're the scavengers, right?
Cockroaches of the sea, low
Yeah,
vibrational
so
platter plates.
oh, what's going on? What is our salmon eating? If it's all the critters that the crab's not eating anymore floating out
I
there.
don't know, but we're in
Tricky.
trouble. Or there's aliens, or it's something like a
Well,
billion.
we know that
A
they're
billion.
aliens. I still y'all passed that up. They announced that there were aliens during COVID, and everybody was too busy with COVID and Trump. We couldn't even function. We were like, oh, all right, cool. I'm gonna find that.
Yeah, they
that
are. They're saying they're investing a lot of money now into looking into. God help us. It's looking dire out there. It's looking pretty scary. It is.
This is a depressing episode. Lift us
But
up.
there's another episode I think everybody should listen to. And they're talking about the new way that we're moving to get off of fossil fuels and go into electric. What do you call that? I guess the focus was all on cars, though, on the automobile industry and how everybody's setting up to go electric. But electric cars run off of cobalt and all of these metals that are found in the sea. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it, but it's no more uplifting, inspiring. It's more exploitation. It's more robbing of the poor. It's more of the global north stealing from the global south, and then those motherfuckers receiving the effects of global warming first. Like, we're causing all the global warming, they hit it first, and there's nothing, and then we don't give them any money to help them. We're like, my bad, Joe. That's crazy, man. It's bad. If karma is real, God help us. Oh, sorry.
Wow.
I'll have real talking points for that, but that's a really serious coming. Like, everybody's like, yeah, go green, go green. No,
Well, in other news, you also have something else on here. Can you see the outline? I see you just.
This was a cultural phenomenon, y'all. This changed the game. Me Too. Do y'all remember when Me Too came out? That was, my goodness. It's been 5 years since that hashtag has set ablaze the interwebs. It was created by Tarana Burke. She created it in 2006 to encourage Black women who had suffered from sexual abuse and harassment to speak out. And it has since gone viral, and it has changed the game for so many industries. We saw Harvey Weinstein go down. We've, I don't know, I don't work in corporate America, but I wonder how it's affected your own corporate experience in terms of sexual harassment and HR. It's been a global phenomenon. It has reached all the way overseas to women in other countries that are finding the language to express what their violations. I think that's what it's done. It's offered women the space to realize that they were violated, it wasn't right, and that there should be some action, some repercussions. And I'm really proud of the organization. It is still functioning. It is still operating. It is still out here doing the work. I know many women that I know personally that work within the organization. So shout out to all of you guys. But I think for me personally, it made me really reflect and think about all the instances growing up as a child, basically, and then as a young woman navigating relationships and trespasses that happen, and that I knew they didn't feel right in me. But now that I saw so many other women speak, I was like, whoa, that shit was wrong. I remember even writing an article for Around the Way Curls when it all came out, kind of describing shit that happened at work. But has it affected you personally? If you were to really sit back, do you think that the Me Too movement has made an impact on your life, Antoinette?
I'm sure it has. Yeah, I'm sure it has in ways that I don't even recognize yet. Because it's there, it's like it's echoed, throughout the world so much, throughout our consciousness and our thinking. I think it has just in general with the way that I hear people talking. When I hear I don't know, when I hear the Jason Rosarios of the world, I don't know George's last name, but my friend George, my friend Abdul, Obed, like all of these men in my life who speak in ways that they probably did before, but now their voices are being amplified in a particular way that I think is a really great thing. Within corporate America, within the creative world, Black as well, being a photographer and talking about exploitation of women and their images and how they're photographed, especially Black women, especially curvy Black women. I think it's all really hella important. And I think that I've only reaped the benefits. I will say that there's been folks that resist it a bit, that feel attacked, that feels like, where's the line? And I recognize that as well. Especially within the workplace. It's trickier in the workplace because a lot of times people are like, oh, it's not harassment if she likes you back or he likes you back. It's harassment if they don't. So
Yeah.
I think that it's still
depends.
being worked on. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It depends on the approach. It depends on a lot of things, but I understand the argument and I understand the pushback a little bit, but there are certain things that are, I don't know. There's just certain ways you can approach things where if someone's comfortable or not. And if you don't know, then don't do it. But I can't think of a time in my life right now in this particular moment where I'm like, oh yeah, this is the moment where, I've reaped the benefits, but I know I have. We all are.
Well, shout out to Toronto work. Shout out to the Me Too organization. Shout out to the fertile soil in which we are planting seeds around breaking our conceptions of gender, sexual politics, all that jazz. Mm-hmm. Shout out to them.
We are, I just want to say, I'm not going to get into it. I had like a whole outline, but we have to move on. The January 6th hearing, another one happened. There's some key takeaways that, damn, I wish I could run through this, but Cassidy Hutchinson came back out and said that Trump knew he lost. She heard him say that he knew he lost, and she heard him say it to his chief of staff. What else? The committee revealed new info that the Secret Service, again, said that there were so many weapons found, that there's Secret Service text saying that it could get really spotty after dark when they go to the Capitol. So more proof that people knew that some shit was about to go down. Trump planned to declare victory no matter what, yada, yada, yada. A lot of it was more of the same. But something that was very interesting, who was notably absent, was Jeannie Thomas, who's Clarence Thomas's wife, the Supreme Court Justice. Uncle Tom asked Clarence Justice. And she did go before the committee and provide testimony, but it was not used. So everybody thought that was pretty interesting. It was like, well, what did she say? What did she not say? But we have no idea. Oh, lastly, something that was very interesting was Elaine Chao, who is the devil Mitch McConnell's wife.
Oh,
she testified.
What she say?
Yes, that's who Trump used to speak very disparagingly about, despite the fact that Mitch McConnell was the majority leader and is now the.
He used to talk shit about his wife?
Oh, terribly. And that's why everybody was like, Mitch, like, how are you backing this dude when he says such awful things about your wife? Make it make sense. But anyway, she testified and she actually worked for Trump. And she quit the day that happened, which was like a little too late. And she didn't say anything too, she tread lightly. She chose her words very wisely. She's a smart woman. She just said, at a particular point, the events were such that it was impossible for me to continue. Given my personal values and my philosophy, I came as an immigrant to this country. I believe in this country. I believe in the peaceful transition of power. I believe in democracy. And so I was, and then she stops and she goes, it was a decision that I made on my own to leave. So that is very significant because that's Mitch McConnell's wife. But that is politics as usual for the week. Pop culture, we don't have to spend a lot of time on this, but Jonathan Majors confirms that he has a biracial half-white child. And Shanti, I just want to call you out for being clinically insane about this, for saying that you're upset. And I want to say... No, about him, that you're still not supporting him because he might could like white women, and that's okay. I have an issue if he's like, I only date white women. That's weird. But if he's dating white women too, here we are.
Girl, he only probably date white women. He got a biracial child.
Know him.
I can feel how I want to feel about
I know
it.
That's
I don't
right.
hate him as a person. He's still beautiful to look at. He's still talented. But it feels like a rejection.
Oh.
It feels like a rejection. It feels like why? Like he get a blonde, teeny tiny. She's not even like at least I can't remember anybody's name. God damn it.
It's okay.
At least Childish Gambino. I don't know his real name. At least his wife is
Donald
like
Glover.
an ethnic white. Yeah. Like she's like an ethnic white. She's like Asian-y.
What? Oh, God.
I'm sick. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She's like she's like still like an ethnic white. Fucking Kim Kardashian is an ethnic white. She got dark hair. She got little dark jeans. Got like a Swedish blonde hair, teeny tiny.
Swedish women, are they white?
They're white as hell, girl.
That's tricky because they're Swedish, but I guess they're white in our eyes.
Yes, they're the original whites.
I don't care. I mean, I care, but I don't. I just want to say that this is not real love.
What?
Real love endures, and I'm gonna love him through this. It's not, when you love people, you can't pick and choose when you gonna love them, when you're not. I just feel like that's not real. And I had this conversation with somebody else. Yes, Shanti.
I take it back. My love for him is just
We have
superficial
to.
now. I just
I
lust
want to.
after him now. I
I
don't love him
really.
anymore. I can change my mind. I retract what I said. I
I
have to get over
really.
it. It's a grieving process because it's just like,
This is conditional love.
and what did he say? Didn't he say some dumb stuff? Like, wasn't he like saying
Oh,
stupid
I don't know.
shit?
Did he say something stupid? Oh no! Don't make me look dumb, John.
You're the one that
Please.
sent it
For
to
real?
me.
I didn't
Yeah, when he
forgot.
was like, maybe he didn't say nothing dumb. I don't know, but John, do your thing, boo. But he about to blow up big time. He's about to be so big, and that's the thing. Like him blowing up big time, and then just the optics of him having like a badass black woman of color on his arm would be like, oh, that's wow. He's about to be so big.
But
And
is it his?
it's just like
So
boring.
it's not even that I disagree with you, right? Let's get serious. Is it his job to have to do that? Should he be? Should we ask that of him because he?
Just keep that bitch under wraps.
All right.
The same way Jonathan Glover, what's his name? Donald Glover, we never see his wife. She don't take her nowhere.
Donald Glover,
11 kids with her.
Let me tell you something. Donald Glover went on interviews and said how he would never be with a white woman.
A black woman.
No, a white woman.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
She ain't white. She's Asiatic.
All right. Come on. Next. You put this on here. I don't know nothing about this.
So Lizzo was just recently, I should know where she was. She was on a big magazine cover, really beautiful shoot that she had. Internet, can you look up while I'm speaking and see where she was? But she had a lot of really interesting things to say. I like Lizzo. I like the idea of Lizzo. I like Lizzo's brand. That's what it is. I like the brand Lizzo. I think that she's smart and I think that she's authentic. She went on to say in this interview, when black people see a lot of white people in the audience, they think, well, this isn't for me. This is for them. The thing is, when a black artist reaches a certain level of popularity, it's going to be a predominantly white crowd, she explains. I was so startled when I watched YouTube clips of gospel singer Sister Rosetta Thorpe, who was an innovator of rock and roll. She was like, I'm going to take gospel and shred guitar, and then we turned the camera around and it was a completely white audience. Now, I also have mixed feelings about Lizzo's music. There's like Lizzo the brand, what she represents, and then there's Lizzo's actual music. And I don't like her music. It doesn't feel... It just doesn't resonate with me.
Same.
At all. And like,
I think
Beyonce's
it might
a
be
very
an age thing, though.
Oh.
I think it might be an age thing. It's really pop in my mind. And it's also like, I think if we were maybe 18 or 7, yeah, me neither. Actually,
Nope.
I take it back. Now that I'm hearing some of the songs, I only know like 2 songs.
What's wrong with...
Ain't
What's
no
wrong?
soul in Lizzo's music. I said it.
Yeah, there ain't something. Something's missing.
It ain't no soul in it. It's weird.
Something is missing in it.
Soul.
And it's soul. I think maybe she's in denial about it. Why can't she make white music? I feel like Nicki
you just
Minaj
took it
did that.
there.
I feel like Nicki Minaj like did her thing. She got respect, and then she came out with really whack music that she was super famous, and a whole bunch of white kids liked her music.
Are you equating pop music to white music? Are we doing?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just trying to. I just want to understand
White
the language.
audience, maybe not white music, because white people don't.
Well, you
have
just said
their
white
own
music. So what is white music?
Audience,
That's why I'm asking.
White audience. White people that can't create their own music, unfortunately. So
yes, they
audience.
can, because Irvin Berlin. Well, he was stealing too from the Chitlin circuit. Never mind. Go ahead, Tricky.
I think 2 things can exist at once. You can be black. You can be a black person who makes music for white audiences. But she's like, because I'm black, it's automatically black music. I don't know.
I'm gonna sit this one out. I don't know either because I don't want to say nothing problematic.
Why?
Because
What's problematic about it?
No, what I'm thinking in my head is, and I'm gonna keep it to myself. I have the Lizzo. To me, I could never hear Lizzo sing anything. I also the brand Lizzo. I could also not. I don't know what it is. And I'm probably just gonna sound like a hater, so I just need to be quiet. I don't want to say it. I don't resonate with the brand either, and that could be something about me rejecting something in me that's for me. I don't know, but something about it just feels so like when she goes out and she has the thong on and she's at the game and she's sitting on the bleachers and it all feels what is the word? It feels forced a little bit.
Oh,
it feels
doesn't
like,
feel authentic.
Here's my defense mechanism. I'm fat. It makes me a little bit uncomfortable. So I'm just going to throw it in your face as much as I can to say that I feel good about myself. And it's like, do you think really
she's deeply insecure?
I don't think she feels good about herself most times.
Wow. Now you're being problematic. You should.
No, I'm not, because she has said that. See, she has said that. She has said that. And it's fine.
I thought she never said that.
No, she has. She has talked about, depression. She's talked about the internet trolls on her. She's talked about, and so the way that she fights back is to just be like, well, I'm going to be even not bigger. I'm going to be even more in your face. I'm going to be even more bold, even more loud, even more provocative. And I wish she would just be and not do it. I feel like some of the stuff she does is she's anticipating hate she's going to get that she might not get if she would just be.
Interesting.
Just be you. Just be you.
Wow.
But I feel like, and I'm sad for her because I feel like everything she does, she feels like it has to be a statement instead of her just being Lizzo.
Oh, I don't get that from her, but that's interesting. Shout out to Lizzo. She's
I also
winning.
don't know that lady.
We don't know her. We don't know nobody.
And I'm not hating on her. I want her to get freed up in a different way because I don't feel like what she's doing, she's really freed up. I feel like she's doing it because she's hurting.
Wow, that is such a interesting take.
They gonna get me.
I'm excited. They gonna get you.
Damn.
Y'all better shut the fuck up. It's Antoinette's birthday month, so you better wait a minute, okay?
But you can hear it in my voice. I want her happy. I think I think she is an absolutely fucking beautiful woman.
Yeah,
Can't nobody say
that
lady's not gorgeous.
I don't get it from her. But anyway, Lizzo, dude, I don't know, girlfriend.
Listen, if Lizzo wants to take some of Taylor Swift's money, take it, girl, and run with it. Good for you.
Swift is a respectable artist, and I will.
All right, I didn't say she wasn't.
Okay.
You got another one where you really was talking your shit with the pop culture.
I was also I believe this to my core. Cardi B, JT, Nicki, Lotto, all of these women rappers are whack. And y'all really need to come with some good fucking music, like some good diss tracks. And I saw it first on Unbothered, where they wrote, "Dear women rappers, we want diss tracks, not tweets." And then I saw that OK Player and all of these other platforms picked it up. But it's like, for real, like, grow up. Like, these women are actually meeting each other to fight. Like, they have these destinations where they're like, meet me at, what's it called? And then they like Cardi. She like videoed herself at this certain location that another woman was supposed to meet her at, and the woman wasn't there. And I was just like, it's exhausting, and can't none of y'all fucking rap. The best one out of you is Nicki, and she's actually clinically insane. Like,
Nicki can rap.
Not well.
We can't say Nicki. You can't
and
say Nicki.
She would eat all y'all up, but she's not well.
Nicki can rap. Point. That's number one. Nicki is just a bitter. I don't know what is wrong.
I don't know why. What is wrong? She is nasty.
She's just a nasty lady. She's just
She
not a
is
nasty. And I hate
nasty.
saying that because that's what Trump said. But she's just not. She's just a. What did
She
Asante and
behaves
Crystal say?
nastily.
I forget what they said. They like she's just an unhappy, miserable woman. She's just a miserable person.
Now that's an insecure and pain woman. Like Lizzo
Yeah.
is far more freed up than Nicki. Nicki is not well.
We don't know.
But she could eat what Nicki, drop a diss track. Eat them all up. It would be iconic. We miss it. I don't think, is that dead? Is that era dead for us? Are the men even making diss tracks anymore? Like, they're just...
The last one I feel like was... No, they sub diss now. They don't really, like, call people out. I feel like the last one was Meek and Drake, and Meek embarrassed us. We don't need to talk about that. Uh-oh. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not inspired by anybody that was listed there. I think Lotto, I don't know her music, but I hear that she's, like, a star. And she has like that remix of Fantasy with, not a remix, but she sampled it or whatever with Mariah. And I'm not paying attention to this, but I did see that I think Nicki just called her out because Nicki's song, her terrible song was changed. I don't know. They're submitting songs for the Grammys and they decided that her song was pop instead of hip hop or rap or whatever, and she was pissed off because now she has to go up against like pop songs, and she basically called out, well, if that's the case, then Lotto's track should be in pop as well. And Lotto was like, "Oh, keep my you a hater, you're I look up to you." That's the thing that disappoints me is these girls look up to you, Nicki. You were doing it before them. They've definitely paid you respect, and I don't know why. Why wouldn't you just welcome somebody with open arms? They can't. None of them rap as good as you.
Well. Megan, if Megan had proper mentorship,
Megan does not have.
She could.
Nicki will drop a verse and give you 7 different flows on the same verse.
Megan doesn't have the
is
mentorship.
Going to give you that one.
I know. She's just
Nicki gonna give you word flow, she gonna give you metaphors. She gonna give you characters. I miss that Nicki. I miss Nicki that was transforming into these characters and doing a thing. I also don't really listen to her that much, so I need to shut up. But I just don't care about any of it.
She turned pop though. She turned pop as well.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Anyway.
It doesn't resonate. It's disappointing. The artist that I like is Tierra Whack when it comes to rappers.
Oh, Tierra Whack. They could never. Y'all could never.
Tierra just.
If they were to tweet each other, she'd probably eat them up that way because she's so fucking smart and witty and funny.
But she's problematic. She's unproblematic. I wish I would be sick. It's if you go back in the day. Say somebody said some foul shit to Lauryn Hill. If I saw Lauryn Hill going back and forth with somebody on Twitter, imagine that. I think it's the times. We're just suckers now. What? Could you imagine Lauryn tweeting someone? She'd be like, "What? Do you know who I am?" It was just a different time, Shanti.
Grow up.
It's over.
It's not well.
It's over.
It's over.
People don't have.
We have to stop talking like this.
I don't care. People don't have the same. I don't even think they care about how they look. I would be mortified. Anyway, and this is a good segue. Let's get into it. Trying to be an old person in a young person's game. Noriega, child, he didn't learn a valuable lesson. I hope he did. Actually, I don't think he did because he's still playing around with his tweets. But I refuse to talk about Kanye West. But Kanye West went on Drink Champs. He had another 3-hour-long interview. And I actually enjoy Drink Champs. I will watch it from time to time. I really enjoyed the Miss Patty interview. And I actually think Nori is really charming and trying to... He's really, he's endearing. He's so proud of himself when he's done research and he can ask questions that other people don't ask. You can see him, you see the little boy in him, sparkle, and get excited about his work. And, he's learning a valuable lesson. We're all out here having a human fucking experience. And he went for the clickbait. And he said, who's the hottest right now with his White Lives Matter shirt? Kanye. Let's get him on here. And Kanye went on there. And I have not watched it. I've seen many clips. Obviously, the clip that's going around the most is where he's talking about how George Floyd didn't die from the police. He died from fentanyl, and it was a lie, and basically disparaging this man's name and legacy, and like all of the movement that followed his death. And it's gotten to be so bad that Donald Trump has said that Kanye West needs mental health help, and that he would like to distance himself from him. I said, not Donald J. Trump saying you went too far. But Nori, I don't want to talk about Kanye West. Nori is, I hope, going to learn a valuable lesson of like,
what do they expect?
Integrity.
What is people thinking that Nori should have done?
People are saying that he should have spoken up. He should have checked Kanye with a lot of the things that he was saying on the interview. I don't really want to watch I don't have time to watch a 3-hour Kanye West interview right now. But a lot of people are disappointed. Like, you let him go on there and talk like that, and there was no rebuttal. You softballed the interview in a way that feels weird. And Nori responded, was like, I was afraid he was going to walk off. Like, he was nervous. He's like, it's a big deal for Kanye West to be on the show. And despite what he's saying, these ratings are going to be crazy. He then tweeted, that more people watched his interview than football. But he's learning, like, he's getting a lot of backlash from his community and from his supporters around it. And they're just like, it's not what we come in here for. Like, this is whack. You didn't hold us down. And I think when you go for that clickbait, and I see it happen a lot within podcasts too, and it made me think about us, and like, it made me nervous for us. Like, whoa, I hope we never met with this thing. But like, as we grow, we forget about our integrity. And so for Nori, I was thinking about, you're doing this thing because you're tempted to get more ratings. But I hope that he goes back to and leans into his mission statement, his mission and vision for his platform. And I believe that was to give people their flowers while they're still here. He always talks about that on the show. And to bring Kanye on when he's not well, right? When it seems that he is having some serious issues.
Yeah, he's exploitative.
It feels very exploitive
mm-hmm.
of Kanye. And it also feels really dangerous for our community. It also is very hurtful for George Floyd's family. There's ripple effects. So like, yeah, a lot of people tuned in, but what were the repercussions of that? Who's tuning in next week? And so it's just a lesson for all these people who have brands, because everybody has a mouthpiece now. Everybody has a voice. Like, the slow build is always better than the quick clickbait thing that really could get you in trouble or deter people down the line. So it's like, I wanted to ask you, like, have we ever been tempted to do something for ratings? And like, what was it? Like, have you ever felt like, oh, we need to do this provocative thing? I know that we were nervous about horrible decisions, and we were just like, well, we're not hating on their work, like, but their work is just different from ours. So how do we fit into it? And it's a great opportunity because they have a huge fucking platform that they've built from the ground up. But like, you and I aren't going to go on there and talk about our sexcapades, and things like that. And I also like pigeonholed them a little bit in like what they do, because they talk about a lot more than that. And for me, it was important to have the upfront conversation, with Mandy, to be clear about, this is what we do. This is who we are. And this is how we're going to show up. Is that cool? And she's like, fuck yeah, like that's why we want you on there. And that's really the only time that I can think about. And luckily, we were met with like, girl, hell yeah, like we're all about it. Let's go. Like we do the same shit. It just, might be packaged different, or you might see a clip that doesn't reflect that, but we're doing that work too.
Yeah, I think we've always we're conscientious. I think for myself personally, I think during the George Floyd uprisings, I think you felt very ready to talk about it, ready to like express, emote, where I was far more like internal processing, quiet, didn't have anything to share. So I think when there's these big moments in pop culture and politics, as a podcast, it's expected of you to like have something to say. And I often don't, not often, but sometimes it just takes me a minute to process. I don't have anything to say, and then that's the pressure. And just learning how to manage that, but nothing that made me feel like I betrayed myself or I betrayed other people in talking about it.
Now, if we ever have live shows and then we look out there and it's only an audience full of white people, we'll have to think about that. Lizzo. It's like,
what?
Oh, you like I did that. Oh,
what happened?
Tricky. No, I think that would actually be a really good episode, and I want us to come back to that because I think in your personal life as well. And I'll probably have an existential crisis doing this episode, but like us saying like, what is your personal mission statement? What is your business mission statement? And like work through that on an episode of like, what is my personal mission statement? And having that being so, and it can change, it can evolve as you grow, but being so rooted in that and keeping that in like, the forefront of your mind and in your decision making of like, is this in alignment with my personal mission, with who I am? And I just think that it would help drive so many decisions and make them so much easier, So anyway, I am hoping that Nori gets, he tweeted and was like, what'd he say? He was like, Sean King, Dr. Umar, RZA, help. I said, I can't. He playing. But he did apologize to George Floyd's family. He did say that he felt Kanye West was completely wrong.
Kanye, he is. On my live, I forgot to say that. I'll mention it on the next episode. But I went on the live on Around the Way Curls, and I was asking folks. Yeah, I was asking folks what they think the next topic should be. And I had a theory. This was a week ago. I couldn't retract what I say. But I thought that Jay-Z was just as dangerous as Kanye West.
Hell no.
I take that back. He's dangerous. I think he's an unassuming type of dangerous. But he may not incite as much actual physical harm to Black people that Kanye could possibly incite with crazy ass white folks that are like, yeah, that's what I was saying.
And now he's trying to buy Candace Owens' husband's.
Candace
Owens is her husband's very right wing. I don't know.
She needs to do mushrooms. Candace needs to.
She needs a journey.
A high ayahuasca. That's what Candace needs to do. Somebody need to take her Black ass.
She might not make
to the Amazon.
The ancestors
take her around from white people, from Black people, from her wealth, from her perm, from her mic, and make that bitch major dose for a week and then come back.
We can't be. At this point, Kanye is the same as her. They both.
Kanye's not well though.
Kanye's not, but there's no way she is.
She isn't either, but not in a way that it feels that like Kanye but being bipolar and not being medicated is really, really difficult for family members, for the person. It is a roller coaster ride.
God,
And I
I
don't know
pray
if
for his
people,
babies.
that shit is wild. Like niggas
Anyway,
get killed by the cops when they're on like bipolar highs and lows. Like crazy shit happens to people and families. Anyway, God help these black people. Help us all. Except for Jonathan Majors too, the most. Just kidding.
again, if you look at your house and your house is full of nothing but white people, I don't know. Tricky. Look at your face.
Girl,
What's the
Jonathan.
name of this episode?
Oh no, get
Surrounded
out.
by
John,
white
get out.
people.
Give us
Get
a
out.
sign, nigga.
Get
You
out.
gonna be taking some
That's the name.
spoons.
Get out.
Get out,
Sunk
Jonathan
in
Majors.
place. Anyway. Well,
Blink twice if you need help.
blink. That's it. Blink twice if you need help. That's it. That's it. Well, I
All right.
hope that this was an uplifting episode. Doesn't feel like it. We'll be back with more.
She said we'll be back.
With more. I
We
hope.
can't guarantee nothing, child. We be back. That's all.
Okay. With that, we are out. Now we can't guarantee nothing. Oh
Be
my
back.
God. Blink twice if you need help. Oh, the fact that I gotta edit this tonight. Are you ready? These people. Let me text this girl from work real fast. She just texted me. Purpose. I know she's gonna try to get me to go in there. You ready?
Yeah.
You got updates for this joint? Wait, let me set my phone up right, because y'all can't hear the voicemails anymore. It's just ridiculous.
You doing all those voicemails, girl?
No, just the first. I don't know. We'll see how we.
This is Aliza.
You can hear this, right?
I am 22.
Okay.
About to be 23.
What's motherhood in brown?
Please stop. Please stop. All right, ready?